German, no parle, whatever, only English. Sorry. Hello. Hold on. Testing, 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Testing, 1, 2. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Testing, 1, 2. Test, test, test. You can hear me now. Testing. Test. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Test, 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 test. Testing. Oh, Lord. Okay. This shit drives me crazy. Alright, tonight we're going to journey into the triplet roll. Okay? Triplet roll. Uh-oh. Well, all I'm doing with the triplet roll is I'm playing eighth note triplets. Let me count that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So when I do a triplet roll, I double my stroke per count. So I'm counting 1 and So on the count, 1 and to 2, 2 and How you doing, William? Do we understand? You're from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Okay, that's nice. I'm from Somerville, New Jersey, USA. hear the drums? Oh, this thing is not working correctly. Okay, triplet roll. One measure of eighth note triplets. Count like this. 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now double it. 1 and the 2 and the 3. Very easy. 1 and the. Do we understand the triplet roll? 1 and the. I'm doubling it now. 1 and the 2. I get my pulse going. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. Do you understand the triplet roll? Alright, well, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. I have a whole thing with the stick control formulas that I use for the triplet roll. And I go always to page 5 and reference off the line. So for example, if I had line 1 and I eliminated the lefts, I'd have, or no, I'm not going to eliminate the lefts, I'm just going to play from the quarter note, like 1, then I'm going to play over to the 2. Don't matter whether it's right or left. Do you understand the triplet roll? I don't want to make a big issue out of it. What I want to do, and this is for sort of a prerequisite to understand your rudiments, and I'm almost finished, as a matter of fact. Master Studies Breakdown. It's like over 130 pages. I should have it out there by the end of the week or Monday. Okay? So I want to do this, and I want to explain it slowly because a lot of people get confused about it. And I went over a couple times the free stroke or the full stroke. Now my hand is totally relaxed. I just throw the stick down, and by being relaxed and I'm not grabbing the stick tightly, it allows the sound to go out and the vibration of the stick to go out. If I hold that stick tight and I make the sound, I'm going to choke the sound. That's number 1. Number 2, the vibration of the stick is going to go up your arm, and eventually you're going to have some physical issues like carpal tunnel syndrome or tendonitis. So what I do is I just throw the stick down and I follow it back. In reality, my hand is faster than the rebound of the stick because I have to come back in order to catch it. Now when I catch it, I just stop it. When I make impact on the drum, you know, I'm holding the stick tight enough so I can control it, but loose enough so it's relaxed. So I'm following the stick back. I'm stopping it here. That's the free stroke. Now, the downstroke, okay? Now notice that there's a sound that I obtain. It's a loud sound. I mean, I'm not going to beat the hell out of the drum because you only can hit a drum so hard, then it's going to choke on you. So I'm just establishing the sound. The next stroke is a downstroke. Now notice, the full stroke or the free stroke sound is the same as the downstroke. Free stroke and downstroke sound the same. Next stroke, a tap. All I'm doing is simply just throwing the stick down. It's going to rebound back. To this point, I don't go any higher than this. That's giving me the sound. The upstroke now, when I make impact on the drum, I bring it back to the full stroke position. So we have free stroke, downstroke, tap, and upstroke. That's called control strokes or the level system. The level system, if I get into that, there's a whole spectrum of sound that you can develop. And that's very, elaborate. It's a very elaborate book, the Level System by Jeffrey Johnson. Jeffrey Johnson's a friend of mine. Hey Freddie, how you doing? And he did a magnificent job explaining the level system. But right now we're just going to work with the 3 levels. The full stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. Now it's of the utmost importance that you maintain that consistent sound. Full stroke, downstroke, tap, and upstroke. Now, I devised a exercise, and there's 72 of them, as a matter of fact. But with the aid of George Lawrence Stone, he's helped me out with this. And it really makes you worry about, not worry about, but really focus in and understand the levels. Now, I like to play 8th notes, say, with my right hand. 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4. Now notice I'm making a consistent sound with those 8th notes. Now, if I'm going to take the first line of stick control book, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, or 1 and 2 and 4. The most important book in your drum library. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference off the first line. I'm going to eliminate, I'm going to eliminate all the lefts. So that gives me rights on the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to use that as a reference while I'm playing 8th notes. So I'm going to accent the rights, which it falls on 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to get this. 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10. So all I'm doing is down, how I'm getting that accent on the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. Because now we go to line 2, we eliminate the L's and the R's are going to fall now on the ands. So we're playing this. So I'm going to accent the and. One great thing, other than becoming a better player and developing a better sound, a more musical sound, the levels, if you're not right, they come out and smack you. I mean, in a nice way. I mean, you're wrong, So, let's go back to line 1. Why am I starting here? Well, I want to get an accent, a good, nice, crisp accent. 1. Now, and is not an accent, but 2's an accent. So I have to get in position to hit the 2. So it has to be an upstroke. So I play it in time. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, so now that's the object. I'm using a downstroke and an upstroke. And I'm doing the same thing with line 2, but it's in a different place. 1, come up. Now I'm in position to hit the accent. Now I got to hit the 2, which is an upstroke, to get in position to hit the end. And so I have 1, and 2, and 3, and. Very relaxed. So now, what I'm doing with the right hand if you can venture off with the 72 lines, which is great, and each one of those lines has its own characteristic. Now, I'm demonstrating rather, with the right hand. Line 2, 1. So what I'm doing with the right, I'm going to do with the left. So take a 4-measure increment, like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 2, 3 and 4 and 4 and 2. Line 1 again with the left hand. 1 and 2. So on and so forth. Do the whole page. Challenge it. Let's go to line 3 where you have 2 rights. So you're going to have 2 accents shooting on top of each other. So remember, we're eliminating the lefts. On line 3, I'm just referencing off the line as 1 and 2 and there's nothing. There's a left. But I have to maintain the count. And 3 and 2 rights. 3 and. So let's play that. We have 1 is a free stroke and is a downstroke. 2 is a tap, and the and of 2 is an upstroke. Why? Now I'm in position effortlessly to attack the accent. You'll be amazed at what happens to your hands when you do this. It's called control strokes or the levels. Okay? And that's the octave. If I'm playing like this, all one sound, and I want to nail some accents. If I break that down, it's a down, tap, up, tap. You understand the objective, the principle of that? Do we understand it? I just need some response in the comments, yes or no. Because I want to start the single paradiddle, the double paradiddle, the paradiddle diddle. Freddie understands it. Okay. If I'm doing a paradiddle, okay, I call it a right-hand paradiddle if I start with the right. Right, left, right, right. And I want to accent the first stroke of the paradiddle. And I'm going to alternate the paradiddle. So now, after I finish the right-hand paradiddle, I'm going to go right to the left-hand paradiddle. I'm going to do the paradiddle in 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sticking I'm going to do without an accent first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want to put an accent on the first note of that paradiddle. What do? Well, I'm going to be regimented, very disciplined, and I'm going to look like a robot. But that's not how it is when I play. This is for demonstrational reasons. This is what's occurring when you take a single paradiddle. You're starting in this position, 1. Now I just hit the first note, which was an accent. Now the next note is a left, but it's not accented. So, but I need to get in position for the up and coming accent. So I have 2. Now 3, 4, non-accented. 3, 4. So what I have there is 2 different sounds and 3 different motions. Down, up, tap, tap. Down, up, tap, tap. Down, up, tap, tap. Down, up, tap, tap. Now believe it or not, the more you practice it that slow, the faster you're going to become. Because what you're doing there is you're obtaining control. If I dig the paradiddle here, if I took the paradiddle there and slowed it way down, if I filmed it and slowed it down on the camera to slow motion, this is what you can see. So what you're actually doing is you're practicing the motion that you're playing it in. Simple. Now, what I like to do is take the single paradiddle, when I feel comfortable with the down, up, tap, tap, into an eighth note formation. We just did it in a quarter note like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm actually going to double the time. So my count there is 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Do it twice. And we're going to go back to the quarter note. Now quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Again. 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I maintain that motion constantly. Yeah, it looks like I'm stiff and I'm a robot and all that stuff, but hey, this is an instructional video. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the metronome on, wrong way, to 100. That's the quarter note. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba ba do ba and da. Okay. So that's the quarter note. Now I'm going to play the single paradiddle twice in quarter notes and twice in eighth notes, and I'm going to come back over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes. Notes. So let's take the metronome up a little bit. Let's take it maybe, I don't know, 200? Does that sound good? That's my quarter note. Now, if you don't hear the metronome when I'm playing or demonstrating, that means I'm right on it. If you hear the metronome, I'm a little off. So we're going to do twice in quarter notes and twice in eighth notes. Do we get that? Do we understand that? Okay, the next movement, we did quarter notes, we did eighth notes, now we're going to do 16th notes. Now remember, for the guys who don't understand fractions of reading, 4/16 equal 1 quarter note. Okay? So, the motion remains the same. Obviously, if I play a little faster, the motion's still there and the motion's faster, so it might not be exaggerated like this. So if I do 16ths, 1, 10, now that's slow. 3, E, 4, E, so I'm going to do quarter notes for a little bit, then I'm going to do eighth notes, and then I'm going to do 16ths. Comes from practicing and practicing. What, did I freeze? What happened? Hey. There you go. Now, there's quite a few videos on YouTube demonstrating the paradiddle. Now, most of the gentlemen that are demonstrating it don't understand this is what's occurring. Now, a friend of mine I think he's from British Columbia. His name is Mike McAlco. He's really a good drummer and a great instructor. He came up with a system where he's playing 1E and or 2E and he's filling in the E. You get a faster kind of, hi Elias, he's getting a faster system. When about, I don't know, 40 years ago maybe, that's a long time ago, I studied with this gentleman. His name was Carl Wolf, and he moved to Florida. He passed away since. Yeah, Mike is really a good drummer, Fred, and I would recommend him to anybody. He's about the truth. He's not about bullshit. Okay? Now, I studied with this guy. He was a former student of Joe Morello, and what he did with the parallel, he didn't explain the levels. He played 1EN, 2EN, and bounce the duh. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. There's the level in here. See it? 1, 8, 10, 2, 8, 10. So what I'm doing now, when I get to 1E and, I'm kind of floating that duh. I put them together. And that's what you get. Now that's a good practice. I'm gonna slow it down. I'm not trying to kill myself. Let me put, let's go to 150. That seems like a happy place. That's the quarter note. Now I'm going to do this for a little bit. That's the quarter notes. Now 8 notes. There's so many different ways to do that, okay? That's how I work my paradiddles. But I spend more time here. The more time I spend here, in reality, the faster my paradiddles become. A simple rudiment. You see, there's all kinds of different schools. The 40 basic rudiments. Well, I don't believe in 40 basic rudiments. I believe there's 3 or 4 rudiments. There's 3 rudiments. Singles, doubles, and flams. Those rudiments, those 3 things that I just mentioned. How you doing, Dave? No, I didn't do, well, you want me to go to the 3rd. I can go to 64th notes. And, you know, I don't want to go there right now. Yo, David, my good friend David Lagini. He wants to come over to my studio and do a video. And I said, no way. But he's getting there. He'll do a video soon. When I do 30-second notes, just to give you a briefing, you see, if I count 16th notes, 1E and I want to do that, I can go 1 and each count is 30-second notes. For example, 16th. Uses that a lot. You hear Steve Gadd do that. But it's not, you know, first learn the quarter note, the 8th note, and the 16th. Now, what I want to do now is go into the double paradiddle. Now, I could do this in 3/4 or 6/8. I'm going to count it in 6/8, okay? It doesn't matter about the reading. The double paradiddle with 1 accent, that's the first note of the double paradiddle, is going to be accented. And I count like this. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, I'm regimented. You have, huh? Me too. Good guy. I think I met him under certain bad circumstances. I seen him with the CAD gang in New York City, the Bottom Line, when it was open. And we hung out, had a few drinks, but I don't know how the guy can play that well, being in the condition he was at that particular time. But, you know, I don't want to get into that, so don't worry about it. Yeah, and you talk to the guy, he's very musical, and he'll talk music. So let's get back to the double paradiddle. We're in 6/8, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is double. The accent's on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice I'm up in the air with my left, because now I'm going to play with the opposite hand lead, the left hand double paradiddle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I put them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm going to do the paradiddle diddle. The paradiddle diddle is a nice rhythm. I love it. It's right, left, right, right, left, left. It stays. It's a right hand paradiddle diddle. Slow it down. Look at that. I'm always in position to attack. That's the speed stroke. Left hand. You want to strengthen both right-handed and left-handed sides. And that's a good, I like to use that rhythm. Okay, so that's a single, double, and triple. Now I do the triple. A triple, it's just an extension. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just get the single paradiddle together and you'll be fine. I like to do that single paradiddle like this. That's a double paradiddle. I'm not with the program with that. We get that? Now I want to do something simple, and it has to do with the grid. Do we all know what the grid is? Grid, grid, grid. Permutation, computation. The flamadiddles will help you get the single paradiddles together. They're a really good rudiment. I love them all. I don't know why they call it. It's a flam with a single and a double. That's what I just said. 3 rudiments. The flam, the single, and the doubles. Okay. Let's take the single paradiddle, and we're going to use the grid. The grid means you move over 1. For example, if I play my bass drum, if I want to start my bass drum on 1 and 3, I'm going to count 16ths. I'm going to go 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. Now I'm going to go with the grid. I'm going to move that bass drum over 1 count. So I just played 1E and now I'm going to go to the E. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and then obviously I move over to the end. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and then it goes over to the da. You understand that, guys? That's the grid. Now I'm going to play something on top with the paradiddle instead of playing the paradiddle hand. take the paradiddle and put it on two voices. Okay? And the voice is going to be the hi-hat with the right hand, the left hand on the snare drum. Nice and easy. And I want to get a nice backbeat in there, solid, 2 and 4. Let me turn the stick over. You understand this? So I'm thinking 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and. So I'm going. So let's put the grid in there. Okay, we're going to put the bass drum on the count of 1 and 3. Nice and slow. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Richard Hunter, how are you, sir? A little late. I start at 7. I'm just about to wrap it up. I am filming this video, and in about an hour or two it will be ready up on YouTube. So, you know, you want to see the video from the beginning, go to my YouTube channel, it'll be up there. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Simple. So now I just put, I am well, so same to you, Mr. Hunter. We're going to put the bass drum on the 1 and 3. Slow it down for the beginners. 1 E and 2 E, and the paradiddle stays the same. 3 E and 4 E and. Now the next one everybody falls down on. Moving the bass drum to the E. Because if you're not accustomed to it, it's unusual. So you need to be careful. They seem to have the bass drum dictate the sound of the snare. A lot of students, most of the students that I showed this to in the past, go like this. So what they do with that left hand is they hit it harder. Watch me, I do not let that bass drum dictate the sound of my left hand. So now we moved it from the 1 and 3 to the E of 1 and to the E of 3. We're going to go back to the and. Now we're going to take the and of 1 and the and of 3 while the paradiddle keeps going on. Would you like me to slow that down? 1, the E, and the and. Now we're going to go to the dot. 1 E and 2 3 E and 4 E and. Play them all together, one at a time. Get it? Well, you get funky with it. It's a nice speed to learn. I mean, you know, everybody thinks playing fast is great. You know, the other day in one of the groups, one of the students posted a Sidney Blackman drum solo. Now, Sidney Blackman plays. She's a great player, and she knows how to play really well. And she was using the level system, if you break it down. She was doing singles very soft. Now you see I'm in the half stroke, the quarter stroke position, and she brings it up to a crescendo. I can't get the sound out of there, but that's all right. But anyway, we all understand the level system. Again, if you guys want any kind of sheets on this, PDFs, and you want to get to know my time and location of the lessons, I'm doing 5 days a week, twice a day. Sometimes I change the location only because I'm having issues with the computer, or something has changed during during the day that I'm unable to make, say 7 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So I'm going to put my email in here, and if you'd like, email me, and I will add you to my mailing list. Okay? Time and location and agenda will be sent to you. There you go. Email me. Now, well, if I have the PDF, I can send you the PDF. I mean, you know, there's a lot. What you want to do, Elias, go to my site, Matt Patella. All right. No, there's no actual PDF on the level system. There's a publication out. It's on Amazon by Jeffrey Johnson, the level system. What you want to do is go to my site, mattpatella.livelessons.com. Go into the product room. Go to the product room, and there's icons there. You want to buy the PDFs for the stick control book, or the syncopation formulas. Also, if you hit any other of those icons, they take you to Hudson Music, and you should purchase whatever you want on Hudson Music. Anyway, I have maybe, I don't know, six more things to do before I complete my next book. The next book is Master Studies Breakdown, Part 1. It's about 140 pages. And it's going to be available either by the end of the week or by the beginning of next week, both in hardcover and PDF formation. It will be on Hudson Music come the first of the year. All of my stuff. Now, the question was, Matt, what did you think of Sam Milano? He used to dog the rudiments. Well, when you say dog the rudiments, we all play rudiments. And I just explained. To me, I come from 3 rudiment school. The singles, the doubles, and the flam. And all rudiments that are named, the tough, the 40 rudiments or whatever, is a combination of those 3 things. The flam, the single strokes, or the double strokes. For example, you take the single paradiddle itself. I have 2 singles and a double. It's a combination. So, what they call that now is hybrid. Now, if I put a flam in front of it, I'm using the 3 rudiments. The flam, the single, and the double. I'm not dogging the rudiments. Well, it's coming, William. That's a very difficult book. There's a lot of prerequisites reading. We're going to take it. We're going to do that. It's going to be a while. You know, I only could do so much in a day. I've been in this drum room since 6 o'clock this morning, and here it is 7:30 at night. The only time I get outside is to have a cup of coffee and a cigarette. Well, you can work all 40. You know, all of a sudden, you know, there was the original rudiments from the Nard book, the 13 essential rudiments, and the second 13, which was 26. Now they expanded the names. Patty Fla Fla, I don't know, there's all kinds of shit. You know, you can know the rudiments. I don't sit down and say, well, I'm going to play a run of paradiddles when I'm playing with a band. I play the music. But yeah, it's good to know all the rudiments if you like that kind of workout. You know, the Radamaque. a challenge. You say you know all the 40 rudiments, and I don't bash that. You know, what you want to do is challenge it. You might be able to play all the rudiments singly, like do a run of single paradiddles, single drags, patty fla-flas, flam taps, revert, you know, Swiss Army triplets. Get a book. Get the Nard book. Or, what's his name? Oh, Billy. The 150 rudimental solos. What's his name again? I got so much shit on my mind. Charlie Wilcoxon. Open up the book. Challenge it. You'll see if you know all 40 of them. You might know them individually, but mix them up. That's known. And I don't say, you know, the way it originated, you know, rudimental drumming is like field drumming. And here you got like 10 drummers with marching drums. And you don't say play 2 singles and a double and alternate it. You play single paradiddle, so you named it. You know? Or double paradiddles instead of 4 singles and a double, reverse it, 4 singles and a double. No, that language don't work. When you play jazz, I don't think of rudiments. I might be playing them, but I'm not thinking of them. Okay? Now, come this Sunday, I have a special guest. That's Jason Gianni. I'm not certain if you guys ever heard of Jason, but you will. Now, Jason Gianni, what he really came, you know, into view is if you have kids and they watch, or if you know, you don't have kids and you watch SpongeBob. Well, on the theme song, he's the drummer. And he's an author, and he has a book out, The Drummer's Bible. Okay, and he's also a full-time instructor at Drummers Collective. He will be here Sunday on YouTube. Okay, and he's going the agenda for that day. It's probably going to go all over the place, but odd time signatures. Slow. Slower, the better. All right, let me demonstrate one more thing before I leave. It's getting late, and I'm tired. 5-stroke roll, they call it. I learned something as a 5-stroke rough, now they call it the single 5. I don't know what these people are doing. I don't think of it as a single 5 or a 5-stroke rough or a 5-stroke roll. But let's take the 5-stroke. Everybody understands it as the 5-stroke roll. So if the 5-stroke roll is right, right, left, left, right. Okay? And it's not in eighth notes. You could think of it in 1 and 2, and think of it as 1, or think of it as 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you don't put the levels in there, you're going to a dead end. You see the levels? And that's bottom line. That's ground zero. And I can play it with the triplet. Or 1, 2. Play it on the high, whatever I want to do. 40 for the eighth note. Well, if I put on 40, I don't play rudiments at 40. Well, I can, but I don't. Hold on, let me put it at 40. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me go to 40. Anybody have the Buddy Rich book? 40's a slow, slow tempo, which is good. If you have the Buddy Rich book. Henry Adler put in the Buddy Rich book the 5-stroke roll, ground zero in 6/8. The sticking pattern for a 5-stroke roll is right, right, left, left, right. He explains it in 6/8. You're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on a count of 6, you rest. But now there's the level in there. You have right, up, left, left, down. So when I'm playing the 5-stroke roll, I'm starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I put out 40, that's slow, man. Oh, I'm gonna fall asleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what I did from the Buddy Rich book. Well, you can play it in 4/4. You can play it in 3/4. You can go 1 and 2 and 3 and rest on 4. We're taking it from the bottom line. I'm demonstrating the Buddy Rich book method, and you can take it in a triplet formation. You can go 1. You can play any way you want, but for instructional reasons and for beginners, they don't understand what a triplet roll is yet. You can play it in 3, you can play it in 4. It doesn't matter. Well, you know what? That's when you put it on 40. Well, when you put it on 40, you really there's a lot of nice things happening. And what's happening is, man, you got to focus in on that tempo. Now, the reason why I used to go slower, 35. Now, I don't know if 35 is on this metronome. When I went to study with Joe Morello first, he would do the stick control book at 35 or 40 as the quarter note. Hey, man, that is slow. And I said, why are you playing it so slow? Well, what I'm telling you right now is what he told me. The slower you play it, the more control you're going to obtain. Besides that, when I hit the right and when I hit the left, if there's a discrepancy in the sound, if they're not equal, that gives me an opportunity to adjust to make it equal. Doing it slow, there's a lot of good attributes to that. You're really zoned in on that tempo. You're focused. You cannot go anywhere mentally. Everything has to be in place. And by doing it that slow, it gives you the opportunity to make an adjustment if you have to. Man, it puts me to sleep now, but hey, there's times I go back to that. Well, we're all beginners to a certain degree, Les. Okay? But, the 5-stroke roll, I teach it. I have my own way of teaching it. Right? I never learned down, up, tap, tap, down. With the Adler system, everything was squeeze and seesaw. That was ridiculous. But, hey, that's the way it works. Okay, I'm going to sign off. Now remember, I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. It will be on YouTube. So if you need to go back and review it, go to YouTube and listen to it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I will be on YouTube live tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1 p.m. And then 7 p.m. tomorrow is free on my site, MattPatellaLiveLessons.com at 7 p.m. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I will come back, if I can, to Facebook Friday. Any questions before I sign off? Going once, going twice. The level system is how you play. It's a natural way. It's a natural approach. I don't use the level system. Oh yeah, you do. Ha! You most certainly do, and you don't realize it. Now, could you imagine if you understand the level system of what you're playing, how to make it better? All right, Fred, you have a good night, Elias, and whoever else is here. And yeah, Samulano, where was he? I did a few things with Samulano. Samulano was a sweetheart of a guy. Kind of a pain in the ass, though. You know, once you said hello and he likes you, man, you turn around, he's always there. He's your shadow. Okay, so, no questions? Go to YouTube later. It will be on here later if you missed any of it. Subscribe to my channel. Email me to get on the mailing list. And if you want to purchase the stick control formula book, it's available in hardcover and PDF. It's very expensive. I can't help it because the cost of the book is high. So if you want the PDFs, go to my site and you'll get the PDFs in your mailbox immediately. Okay guys, have a good night. I'll see everybody tomorrow on YouTube. Take care.